Here he is. Seems to get bigger a lot. Hello. Back in the woods. Right, so climate crisis. Ooh, carbon dioxide is a main driver? No, it really isn't. I've been looking into some information from he's a was he a geography professor in Canada. He's studied and written papers on geology and geography over, well, from the beginnings of the planet, if you like, the whole history of the planet, its geography, how it was created, and the climate and how that's changed, and the things that affect the climate. He cited references, hundreds of references. Yeah, really interesting papers. And basically, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and methane are responsible for up to 5 degrees at any one time. They won't affect the climate any more than that, apparently, and that's in the historical record. What does affect it is how much water you've got on the equator, as opposed to how much land you've got on the equator. So if you've got a lot of land, it just absorbs into the ground, into the land. If you've got a lot of water on the equator, like we have at the minute, then that heat absorbs into the seas. And if you know anything about central heating systems and the heating of water, you'll know that hot water goes to where cold water is, and then cold water goes to where hot water is, in like circles. So it kind of does that, and that means that all the water heats up slowly, and that's what's going on, really. So yeah, not sold on that at all. And then we've got the old problem with the lithium-ion batteries, and where all the strip mining that's going on in third world countries, and basic slavery going on, and destruction of the environment, and the creation of solar panels, and how that has such a massive environmental impact on the planet. And then you've got the same with the old wind turbines that have a huge carbon footprint, big enough that they would never offset against it. And then you've got the farmers that are sort of being squeezed into a position where their farms are no more economically viable because of the legislation that's put up every year. There's something else that they've got to get in line with, costs them even more money, and eventually they give up, they sell their farm, and that land gets bought up by a big multinational with a massive carbon footprint, like, say, British Airways, and they then plant trees all over that farmland to give themselves carbon credits, which offsets against their carbon footprint, which makes them net zero. And that's how net zero works, by the way. Yeah, so you can do what the fuck you like, as long as you create a system to give you the carbon credits back, so you can offset it. So that's okay. So if you're powerful enough and you've got enough money, do what you like. And then we've got our ULEZ zones. So good old Sadiq has managed to overreach his power far and wide, create a massive ULEZ zone, which isn't actually in his remit to do. But the courts have said it's okay, so that's okay. Wonder how that happened. You know, and we've got all this stuff going on, and we've got Ukrainian war going on, and all the money we're throwing at that so that the Ukrainians can be tricked into fighting a war they can't win, and just cannon fodder on the battlefield. And yeah, it's going well, isn't it? And what can we do? What can we do? Can we affect change? Can we actually? Have we got a voice? I was starting to think we didn't, but I actually think we do. There is a system in place, within the UK anyway, and I believe it is within most Western nations. So we've got central government, and then we've got county councils, yeah, so split down, and I believe it's, then you've got your counties are then split up into 4 or 5 wards, if you like, which are borough councils. And then in your borough councils, you've got your town councils and your parish councils. Well, start at home, which is what I've been working on. So go to your council meetings and take your friends, people with the similar concerns to yourself. Ask them about ULEZ. Ask them about 15-minute neighbourhoods, 20-minute neighbourhoods. Ask the questions. Tell them what your fears are. Tell them what you're worried about. Because most of the councillors, contrary to popular belief, are decent people. They're actually trying to do what's right for their communities and the people that they live with, the people in their towns. Most of them give up a lot of their time to be on various groups and committees, trying to do various things, charitable things, and I'm actually quite impressed to see the people that sit on our council. They're good people, they really are, but they're so busy they probably don't have any idea about the sort of things that you and I are worried about. So unless you point these things out to them, give them a direction to focus their gaze, they're not going to see it. So I'm really urging you, go to your council meetings. If you can't go to the meetings, what you can do is you can usually watch them online. Most of them in the UK, I think, they've got a Facebook page. And what they do is they live stream their meetings on the Facebook page. So you can pick up your phone and watch your local council meetings and get a feel for what goes on. And when the time comes, have a look on the council. You might find that there's a few seats that are available and you can do something called co-option. So you can apply to be on the council. You don't have to go for election. If the elections are up, by all means go for an election. If they're not and they've got seats, you can be co-opted. So you can join the council that way. And then you really do have a voice. Although councillors themselves don't have any powers. All they've got is the power to speak for the community. So, I think it's vitally important that the communities get involved with their local councils. Our local council is trying desperately to come up with new ways of getting the local people involved. We have council surgeries in the town, and I think the last one person turned up. But during the day, during the week, and vast majority of us work, don't we? Most retired people don't really pay too much attention to what's going on because it's just like, I'm retired, I want to retire, So yeah, if you've got something you want to get off your chest, if you've got fears or concerns, talk to your councillors, because your councillors are then duty bound to look into it, and they might bring it up with the borough councillors, and then the borough councillors have got to look into it. And you see where it's got to go up the food chain, So you think you can't affect change, but you can. You can, and you can very easily. The more of you that speak about the same things, the more prevalent it will become in council chambers, the more chance there is of something being done about it. Anyhow, I've rambled on enough on my walk. I've ignored my dog, but who has got a lot bigger. And I hope you're all well and good. So, as always, take care of yourselves so you can take care of others and be happy.